Hi, and welcome to Mama Time Yoga. My name is Charlotte. Today I'm here to guide you through another way that you can easily incorporate mindfulness and yoga into your daily routine as a mom. So today's practice I'm calling Mindful Yoga 1 Minute Wonder. So what it is, it's one yoga pose linked with one affirmation, and you can hold it for 1 minute or longer, depending on the time that you have. So we're gonna be doing 5 today, so you can follow me through the whole sequence if you've got time for that, or you can pick and choose what resonates with you. Find a pose that you like, use an affirmation that I give you, or find another one that suits you better that day, and you can just get into that pose, say that affirmation to yourself as you're breathing, coming back to that affirmation, and set your timer for a minute or however long that you have. I can't stress enough that something is always better than nothing, so if you only have a minute, that's amazing. You still have a minute. So we will go ahead and get started. The only props that we have, there's one pose where I'm more comfortable using blocks in the pose. You can either use blocks if you have those, or pillows will work as well. So you might just want to have those handy. But we'll go ahead and get started in our first pose, which is child's pose. I'll see you there. So just getting set up in our extended child's pose. So toes together, knees nice and wide apart on the mat. And when you're ready, just sink those hips down onto the heels and then start to release the upper body, the forehead onto the mat as you extend and reach the arms forward. Just let everything soften into the mat. Really relax the body here. And since this is our first pose, let's go ahead and get into our yogic breath. So big inhale through the nose, filling up the belly. Big exhale, releasing through the nose. Letting all the air come out of that belly. Let's take another together like that. Big inhale. And big exhale. Keeping that breath, and we'll start with our first affirmation here. So that one is I am enough. So consciously thinking of this affirmation while you're in this pose, you can link it with your breath. Inhale, I am. Exhale, enough. I am enough. Coming back to that affirmation and your breath every time you feel your thoughts drift off, which they will. That's perfectly okay. Just come back to that. When you're ready, we'll start to come out of the pose, just coming back up onto the hands, slowly walking yourself back up. Beautiful. And from here, we're just gonna make our way into a seated position for our next pose. So finding how it's comfortable for you. You can be cross-legged, you can be kneeling. You might even prefer to sit in a chair. This pose is great because you can really do this anytime, anywhere. You don't need the ground to lie down on or anything. So anytime you're in a seated position, you can come to this. You can even do this while you're holding your baby if you're contact napping or something like that. So Option to keep the hands down, or you can come into what's called a heart hold, where you have one hand on the heart and the other hand on the belly. If it feels okay for you, go ahead and close the eyes down here. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through the spine, reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, letting the shoulders drop down the spine. And with the hands on the body, just feeling the breath move through the body. And our affirmation here is, I am safe. So inhale, I am. Exhale, safe. Connecting that with your breath. I am safe. Coming back to it anytime you need to refocus. When you're ready, you can gently come out of it. Just start to blink the eyes open, release those hands down. And for our next pose, we're gonna move into legs up the wall, which if you're familiar with any of my practices, you know this is a favorite of mine. It's a great one to do, especially in the evening when you've got tired or heavy legs, but it's a beautiful restorative pose for any time of day that you might wanna get into it. So if you aren't near a wall, go ahead and get yourself there. I'm gonna pull my mat up. And there's a couple different ways that you can get into this. So if you want your legs straight up, just get your hips as close to the wall as possible, and then make your way down onto your back. You might need to scoot up a little bit more, and then just release those legs onto the wall. If you have really tight hamstrings, it might not be comfortable to have your legs straight up like this. So you might just want to take the hips, I'll show you. You might just want to take the hips and the body further back and not have your legs in such an incline, so you can adjust to what's comfortable for you. And if you're pregnant or it's just not comfortable for you to be on your back, go ahead and place lots of pillows so you're nice and propped up like this, and then you will be even further back depending on how far along you are, and have your legs not so high up or maybe even bent onto something. So just find where you're comfortable. Take a minute to get yourself situated. And when you'd found where you like to be today, just let your body relax into that pose. Again, tuning in with your breath. Coming back to that yogic breath. Coming into our affirmation for this pose, which is, I let go of what no longer serves me. So inhale, I let go. Exhale of what no longer serves me. I let go of what no longer serves me. When you're ready, gently making your way out of the pose, just bending the knees, bringing them back into the body, maybe squeezing them in and rocking side to side for a moment. We're going to be doing the last two poses on our back as well, so you're welcome to stay with your mat where it is or adjust if you want to move it away from the wall. If you're staying on the wall, you can just push yourself away from the wall to come a little bit further back onto your mat. Otherwise, you can make your way up and move your mat, and then we'll slowly all make our way onto our backs again. This is the pose that I'm going to be using my blocks. So if you do have some sort of support you'd like, have that handy now. And then slowly coming onto your back, we're coming into reclined butterfly. So the feet together, the knees fall apart, and I'm gonna place the blocks under my knees because it's just more comfortable for my hips that way. You might be okay without them. And then again, finding where you'd like to have your hands. They may be to the side or on the belly, wherever it's comfortable for you. Just allow yourself to drop into this pose. You can close the eyes down. Come back to your breath. And coming into our affirmation for this pose, I am the mother my children need. So inhale, I am the mother my children need, as you exhale. I am the mother my children need. Coming back to that affirmation. As you continue focusing on your breath, letting your body relax even more with every exhale. When you're ready, gently make our way out of this pose. Staying on our backs here, we're just gonna take the hands to the outside of the knees and gently bring them back up. You can move your blocks to the side. We're just coming into our final pose, our Savasana, corpse pose. So just extending the legs nice and long, keeping the hands beside the body, palms facing up, just allowing the body to fully relax onto the mat. You don't have to do any work here. Gravity's doing it all for you. Closing down the eyes, relaxing through the facial muscles, releasing the jaw. Coming back to that breath. And coming back to our affirmation here, which is, resting is my right. Inhale, resting is. Exhale, my right. Resting is my right. Let that sink in as you continue with your yogic breath. You're welcome to stay here as long as you like. If you're ready to come out of it now with me, go ahead. start to bring some gentle awareness back to the body, wiggling through the fingers and the toes. Starting to bend through the knees, rolling onto your side just for a moment. And then making your way up to a comfortable seated position. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's take one last breath together here. Big inhale, reaching up. Big exhale, hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. I hope you enjoyed the poses and you find a way to use them either on their own or in this practice through the whole sequence to just give you those little moments of mindfulness in your day. If you'd like to receive more pre and postnatal yoga and mindfulness, please subscribe to my channel and let me know how you found this practice in the comments. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I'll see you next time.